Good evening, all the participants. I'm very happy to introduce our speaker, Chatla Vajralingam Garu, and he is BCom and FCMA. Vajralingam Garu is qualified cost and management accountant with more than 20 years of experience in finance, costing, and auditing domain in a variety of industry verticals covering pharmaceuticals, electronic goods, tire manufacturing, automobiles, engineering, utilities and services. Vast domain expertise is in financial and cost audit, financial and management accounting, project management, business intelligence in manufacturing sector, and generically in designing and managing business processes, procedures and control systems. He is very proficient in latest technologies and ERP products. Vajralingam is a certified SAP FICO consultant from SAP AG, managed ERP implementations projects both on-site and off-site, and he is specialized in handling data migration, change management, etc. in ERP implementation projects. He has successfully completed projects in USA and India. That's, sir, now our main thing, because for our students, they want to have an exposure to become a good SAP consultant. Exactly what they have to, because SAP is a software which is a big software, we know. We are also want to compare like your Tally, this ERP software or a SAP software, and the difference part of it. As an accountant, what we should know as a end user, or do we have to know more than that? And what is the scope? As an accountant, what all the things he should learn. So we are expecting, sir, and I'll be muting all the mics, and if they have any sort of the queries, they can put it in the chat box, sir. Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you. So now, sir, the stage is our handed over to you for thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, good evening, all the participants, and thanks to Prakash Garu giving this opportunity to me to discuss about SAP consultant role, all of you. So basically, all of you, I think you are part of the accountant training, where you are learning various softwares and accounting part. So this is a very interesting topic what we are chosen today. How to become a successful SAP consultant.
It's actually SAP accountant.
Yeah, SAP accountant. Yeah. So we'll answer the questions once we complete my basic discussion, and maybe at the end we'll discuss the various queries participants are raising, that will answer those at the end of the session. So basically, as an accountant in SAP and other than SAP, like Tally or Focus or any other, nowadays everybody is saying, even Tally is saying that they are also ERP, like Tally Prime also they are saying ERP. Like, what are the things we should understand between Tally and SAP? So what I suggest is, like, to become a good accountant, whether it is SAP or it's Tally, some of the basic things we need to understand as a successful in your life as an accountant. Like, accountant is basically the person who is maintaining the accounts. So basically, you should be familiar with the business process. What we call it in SAP also, Like person who is working on any transaction should be familiar with the overall business process of the business. What what is business process? What exactly you should know about the business? These are all things SAP consultant also, SAP user also should know. Unless you understand the business, you will not be able to understand the SAP. So suppose different businesses will have different types of uh, functions, different operations, different types of transactions. So, for example, if you compare manufacturing with the service, the transactions, the business processes are different. Again, from service to trading, their business processes are different. So, when you are working in SAP as an accountant, you need to understand what exactly your employer is doing, means your company is doing, like what business they are doing, whether it is manufacturing, whether it's service, or whether it's trading. If you don't understand that, it will be very difficult to manage the accounts. So that's where understanding the business is important. Sometimes manufa- manufacturers may, some of the companies who are dealing in manufacturing of a product, they are also maybe doing trading activity. So what is the difference between trading and manufacturing? What exactly will happen? So to make the transaction very clear and it is very useful to the management, you need to understand what is the difference between trading and manufacturing within the same organization. Sometimes they are also doing service, like one single company may be doing service, manufacturing, also the trading. So I will give one example where, uh, example, they are manufacturing the engineering product which are used in, like say, like oil mills or rice mills. They are also doing. They also do they also maintain the customer equipments like service, after sale service, as well as the what you call after warranty period also they maintain. So based on the customer contract. So they are also, what they do, some of the machinery they may not be manufacturing their own, but they may be procuring from the third party, like they are importing from China or some other countries where better technology is available than in India. So like the single company is doing manufacturing of product, service, and trading. So each of the transaction, when you look at it in SAP, like each will have a different segment. Like in Tally also you can maintain, like there may be cost center accounting where you may be separating manufacturing activity with the trading activity, also service. Like in a normal Tally, if you are uh, not using the cost center accounting, what you will do is you may be maintaining multiple ledger, what you call expense accounts and income accounts, so that you identify the profitability of the each business line. Similarly, in SAP, when you talk about the business, different business lines, single companies handling, then how do you handle that? How do you handle the each business? Wherein you can identify the profitability of the each business line separately. So this entire all the transactions can be put it in one single sales account, but you can have separate ledger accounts. One way of doing it, or you can have cost center, profit center, and cost center accounting, wherein each business line will have the separate cost, profit center, and cost centers identified. So there is a similarity between Tally and SAP also. Like there are many features which you have in Tally. Those are also available in SAP. So what is not available? What is extra? What is additional features you have in SAP is you need to understand. Like in Tally, what I can say is integration between different modules is not as strong as in SAP. Like in SAP, what we have is maybe SAP is having a number of like maybe more than 100 modules, but each of these modules can speak to each other. Like we can integrate each of these modules, and we can have integrated system, so that activity or transactions performed by one or one unit of an organization need not be repeated or can be used by other department. So those type of some of the features in Tally, some of these things are very not strong, you can say, like integration between purchase order to goods is at PO, then goods is at PO to payable entry. So those are the things, some of them are, I'm not very familiar with the Tally, but those features are available in Tally also, but not exactly as in SAP. So here we need to understand in SAP what are the integration integrated modules we have you have with so that how each of the module is integrated with your accounting module. Like if you have a manufacturing or trading business, you have inventory. Inventory is a major part where all your business transactions happens, whether you purchase inventory or sell inventory. So inventory module is very important for trading and manufacturing concern. Even for the service industry, sometimes even they may not be producing the inventory, but during the process of provision of service, they may be using some of the inventories. Like example, nowadays in India, a lot of pharmaceutical R&D is going on. Here, what happens is customers in US or outside India, they give contract to the Indian companies where they will expect some results on an R&D base. They want some R&D to be done on some chemicals or some processes, so that whatever that results is basically the shared to the client. It's a purely service, but a lot of inventory is utilized by this R&D, the pharmaceutical R&D companies during their service. But they don't sell product; they only buy, and ultimately they provide service to the customer. Only information and the service, what we call, that is provided to customer. So like that, like in SAP also. So how the inventory you are utilizing, whether you are utilizing in manufacturing, whether you are utilizing in trading, whether you are utilizing service. So it's very important. So integration between the modules like inventory to the sales, purchase. So integration between various modules are very important for an accountant to effectively work in SAP. Suppose if you are crossing any, like if you are starting any purchase transactions, what are the transactions happens in an organization that accountant should understand, and he should know each of the transactions, interrelation between those transactions. Like purchase, like it starts from the purchase requisition or material intent from the production department. So in SAP, all these transactions happen within the SAP, within the system. So everything is visible to the accountant. Like material requisition or inventor is prepared by the manufacturing or production department or service department, where they need any particular inventory. They raise the indent, and that indent goes to stores department. So stores verify that material whether it is available in inventory or not. In a similar process is also happens in the Tally and another ERP. So once the indent is received and material requisition, whatever name, there are multiple names for the same activity transaction, but material indent or indent or whatever. Suppose that indent material is not available in the stores, there is a purchase requisition to the purchase department. So this is also happens in SAP, like purchase requisition goes to purchase department. Then the purchase department required to look for supplier, identify supplier, and then get the quote from the suppliers for the required material. So once the quotations received from the suppliers, prospective suppliers, that quotations are again processed in SAP, like what you call comparison between suppliers, price, various other quantitative and qualitative, and all both the parameters are checked, and vendor selection happens, and the once the quotation I mean supply is finalized, then the purchase department raised purchase order to the supplier. So here purchase order is another document, like we have discussed about 3 documents. One is prepared by the production user department, other is raised by stores department, other is created by the purchase department. So like that, like various documents and various transactions happens in various departments within SAP. So
Sir, can I just interact with you?
yeah.
Yeah, because our students part of it, this is we are training in manufacturing accounting,
Okay.
where we covered purchase accounting also. Purchase accounting means say have to raise the purchase order. Purchase order will go to the supplier. Supplier will get that material and they go to the factory. The gate pass. Sir, when they take the gate pass, all those things are, then there is a finally when the after the supplier supplies the material and he will issue the bill, that bill how account, all these things are, I mean, is it in the similar way like purchase
Yeah.
accounting and the sales
Yes.
accounting like,
Yes.
and that way, why I'm I'm stressing this point when to say in our practical accounting, because I wanted to link and coordinate with whatever you say.
Yeah.
So our
So,
students, what I would say, what I also learned, because I wanted the students to know, we have been training in the first thing is that heads of accounts, like your staff welfare, all that is thing. But in SAP, because we are basically at financial accounting, in case of this SAP, what they call it as a chart of accounts. Am I correct?
yes.
Both. So that part of it, if you can, so what I mean to say this is whatever they want to, we have been training fundamentally all these things. Like your trading account also, we have been training, starting with the voucher, all these things, they're thorough, making the financial accounts and all, manufacturing also they're thorough, and we have been giving them that is how to go for a servicing account. This all depending upon the heads of account. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Whatever, these people, they got a confusion. As an SAP accountant, mean to say, as a BCom person or a MCom person, without, so to what an extent he should know about the how to use that software as a, it is not as a consultant, he is as a end user. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah, correct, correct.
That part of it, if we can explain them as
Yeah.
a end user, and is it SAP is available? What sort of the companies? Why that is in case of Hyderabad? How many companies they may be? I mean, having that sort of a software in the future. So now, as it is, the hands-on, like your Tally is also a software. It is for all the companies. It is but it is a higher end software in case of the SAP
Mm.
to become a, so those are the points. If you can give them the, you know, that will be a fine, and the job opportunities also.
Yeah.
Please.
See, nowadays, like mostly now with the compliance burden, what I say is like we did already all of your participants know about the purchase accounting and all. See, what I your question was whether it is similar in SAP. Yes, even the entire process flow, whatever is generic process flow is in SAP also more or less same. Some of the companies they may tweak it little bit wherein some customization happens, but standard process flow is generally accepted process flow throughout the world. So that would be there. So within that process flow, some customization, if there's some companies they need, they can do it automation or some types of modifications they can do. But more or less, mostly most of the processes like purchase, sales, inventory, these processes are standard in SAP. So mostly these processes are not customized by any of the customers, any of the SAP implemented companies, except minor changes. Those are not called as a what do you call major modifications, but it's a minor modification, not minor changes, look and feel, or they need some fields. Some of them are unique. Some people want to capture like suppose if I am manufacturing company, if I chemicals are stored in a bottle. Suppose I wanted to tear weight and net weight separately. Minor changes they may do it. Like if some user want different types of like same product can be called or can be named with like some same chemicals, some what you call generic name as well as the scientific name. Like that, you can have multiple options in SAP. Unlike Tally, you have only single name and like. But in SAP, you can modify, you can what do you call customize. Customization is possible as per the user requirements. Like my client, they sell same product with 10 different names to different customers. Means what happens? Same product named differently for different customers. Even customer also, when their purchase order is raised by the customer, they give different names. One says X, another says same product XX or X2, X3, XY, like that. So those type of customizations, if they want to make it in SAP, it is possible. We're keeping the standard name convention in one master data. In the transaction data, we can have different one. So in what is the difference between SAP and Tally is, suppose what happens is most of the transactions are integrated. Like suppose if I raise the purchase order, automatically status of the item is updated and everyone can see these item quantities available this much, and we already ordered, means pending order is say 10 quantities. We have committed orders, means some customers have already sent us the order. Those orders are pending for XYZ reasons, and committed quantity is say another 20. So like that, even any user in SAP can know what is the item stock available, what is already ordered by us to get from our supplier, what is committed, what is we promised to deliver to the customer. All those data is available in a single screen.
Automatically, it is taken into that data. Am I
Yes,
correct?
yes,
Sir?
yes,
Automatically.
yes,
So
automatically.
what we wanted to know, the first of all, this SAP software is used by all the companies, or actually what sort of the companies?
Can you
What
come
sort of
again, sir?
organizations now? Mean to say it's only international companies?
No, 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 no. Nowadays, what happens is SAP is a very dynamic system. What is happening is even most of the domestic companies where they want to have standardize their processes, they wanted to streamline their process, and they wanted to bring in discipline in the accounting department and all other functions. They are implementing SAP.
It is
Many
made
Indian
as,
companies,
yeah, we with
yeah.
many features. They wanted to have any updates. I mean, like that is whatever you said.
Mm,
So with that, so many features, different
mm,
features. Am I
mm.
correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is every day. It's the dollar. Like a lot of changes are coming up, and a lot of new developments which are very user friendly, which are not only what to call even SAP is using AI tools for predicting what is future. So
Artificial
artificial
intelligence. Yeah.
intelligence, yeah, artificial intelligence, BI, business intelligence. So all these tools are available in SAP now. So it's now with the accounting role is a basic thing now. So it's a more and more advanced stage. They are using AI, BI concepts in SAP itself. So like predicting the what is going to be, what is my going to be my next level of business, what should my production, what should my procurement, what is my employee count. All these are predicted using the database, data mining and data intelligence tools are available in SAP itself. Like earlier, like data intelligence is done by manually, like people used to do manually, and human intelligence was very important. Nowadays, that is also replaced most of the data crunching and data analysis, and based on the previous data, SAP can throw up what is the future demand, what is the supply, all those things can happen automatically using. Now you learn, like you must heard about the SAP HANA. HANA database is basically database developed by the SAP itself. It supports a lot of BI tools and like big data and all. A lot of business intelligence tools are within the SAP now. So
SAP software is a costly software, what they call it as, because that's the reason the small companies are they cannot introduce. Am I
yeah,
correct, sir?
yeah, yes, yes, yeah. You can. That is one thing. See, this is affordability is very important. What is happening is SAP is not very cheap, not very, not very cheap. So it's very expensive. But even Indian companies, they want most of the like even Hyderabad-based companies implementing SAP because they wanted to get the benefit out of SAP, which is more than what they spend. Uh, one of my client, they are basically for Hyderabad based company, and there are no third party, only all the family owned business. They no need to invest. Like they invested initially about say 9-10 years back, about 5 crores rupees. Company size was just that time around 300 crores turnover.
300 crores, they have invested on software 5 crores.
No, their turnover was 300 crores. They spent 5 crores on the SAP.
Software, SAP
Yeah,
software.
SAP.
So that is
So,
the cost of the software. Okay.
yes. So they spent, and they were forward looking. They wanted to expand the business. They wanted to go for more expansion. So they wanted to have the standard systems in the company before they go for bigger business. So what happens is data uh, consistency, data reliability is more in SAP. See, once you enter any transactions, you cannot delete. This is
Sir,
the
and one thing, because I'm talking as an accountant. So
yeah.
suppose in the SAP part of it, there is a purchase accounting, sales, stores department, others, inventory. As a financial accountant, suppose how am I trained? Because do I have to know about the technical part of it? As an accountant, is already
Mm.
software person has already made the software. In the
Yeah, no.
accounting, I have to do the
Mm.
entries part of it, and how that is taking place to that an extent. The company will give me the training. Am I correct, sir?
Yes. Basically, as a user, you need not
Yeah,
know about what is going behind the screen.
yeah,
So what happens is, as an accountant, but you should understand what entry is going to post
yeah.
in my books of accounts. As an accountant, you should know, because what happens in SAP, the account posting is automated most of the times. Each business transaction, when you post, it automatically posts the GL posting, GL entry
Like
also.
your tally also doing the same thing, na, sir?
Yes,
Automatic.
yes.
Once you make the entry, this is a voucher. So that way, because what I'm trying to say that our
Mm,
student, yeah, of course, they have been doing practically, they have been trained in a such a way how the entries, like you are, if you are making
mm,
a sale. Okay,
mm.
sir. Party account, debit to sales account, or in case of all those transactions, they have been doing it. Like in the same way, when the again on the time. So in case of the SAP also is also the similar way, but he should have this thorough knowledge about the counting, practical
Yeah. Basically, what you should know is you should be strong in your fundamentals.
fundamentals, accounting fundamentals
Yeah.
in this.
Accounting fundamentals, you should be very strong. That will be helpful in your understanding the SAP.
Very good. Okay.
See, suppose if I am posting a sales transaction,
Okay.
so what happens in Tally? Basically, it posts the credit to sales and
Credit to
debit to
sales,
customer.
party to party account, debit to
Yeah,
party.
and the GSC, GST, and
Yeah.
TCS, whatever entries are there,
Yeah.
GST liability, and
SGST, CGST, all
yeah,
those.
that is
Yeah.
again debited to customer account.
Yes, sir.
So, like similarly, once you post the sales invoice, these entries are posted out. Apart from that, once you before sales invoice itself, when are delivering the product, delivery order, like the delivery challan or delivery order is called in SAP. Delivery challan is generated in SAP. As soon as you generate this inventory transaction, again there is a entry posted automatically, like cost of goods sold to inventory. So inventory is removed from the your warehouse and debited to COGS. So this happens automatically, and most of the times, again, how you determine your account, what account it should get debited, and where, like, you may be maintaining multiple inventory accounts in your chart of accounts, like maybe based on the type of product you manufacture, or raw material, like type of material, like you have raw material, work in progress, finished goods. You may be having multiple different ledgers for different types of material, or some of them you may have like domestic material separate, in like indigenous material separate, and imported material separate. Like that inventory accounts you might be maintaining in a chart of accounts as an asset account. So, like, how do you, which account should be debited, which account should be credited, is based on the my configuration. This happens at the implementation stage, which is not required to, like, we like as an you as an accountant role, you're not involved in that. Like, how do you set up your accounting? Like, how do you integrate the your inventory transaction with your accounting transactions? That is
Yes, sir.
done in the implementation
So
stage.
many, sir. So many
Yeah.
people, they got a more confusion is that they should know about the settings, the transactions and other. So whatever the technical aspect part of it, it's already they made. It is
Done.
called as a ready-made,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
user-friendly
So
software
you
to
did not
use.
do every day. It is not done every day.
Yeah,
So setup is done only once in a lifetime, actually.
setup is like that.
Suppose, yeah, suppose if there is any change in my business process, or you want to have better system, that time, again, that mostly an SAP user as accountant, you will not have access to that uh, what you call configuration part of it. Mostly accountant will have only transaction entry access.
Transaction into access.
Uh,
It is
suppose suppose he is processing the bills. Okay, you will have the access to only purchase bills, invoices, and payables, that you call payable accounts, payable transactions only. You'll be able to post whether sometimes credits, and if you are getting credit memos from the vendors to process the credit memos, or
can we call it as a sort of a end user?
mm,
Am I correct, sir?
yes.
He will use it as a end user. He can use it. The knowledge,
Yes, yes. What happens is end user need not have a special specific
technical
knowledge about technical knowledge, and he is not involved in the configuration also. But
configuration. Yeah,
yeah. But at least you should only up to what is his responsibility is when I post this transaction, whether it is going into correct account or not. If
yeah.
he is able to check, that is sufficient. Suppose if I am booking the purchase entry, whether it is going into proper account or not. Suppose I am purchasing raw material, and you should debit the raw material inventory account only. You should not go to finished goods account. Suppose if I am selecting and if I am posting the purchase of raw material, and it is going and sitting in finished goods inventory account, then something is wrong. You should report it to technical team. Actually, I am purchasing the raw material, and it is going and sitting in finished goods.
Sir, one thing is that what I yes mentioned about that. This SAP part of it is basically used in a like your IKEA. If they have the different companies in different countries, am I correct, sir?
Yes.
Integration.
Yes.
That is
Hmm.
a mostly so. This is SAP software is useful mostly in those big companies like internationally they have the branches in the different companies. I mean different countries.
Yeah. See, what happens in SAP can be utilized company only domestic company as well as the MNCs. So
MNCs.
MNCs, what happens? Like suppose US MNCs there. Basically, they are started their business in US, and they have the businesses all over the world. Maybe different countries and different businesses, or say business in different countries. So, but what happens is in SAP, you can still have each company is working in SAP under different countries and using different currencies and different legislations and different regulations still can be used within SAP. Different company codes will be there, and what happens is once this is done, their parent companies say US and they are maintaining all the like their books of account in USD, and when they want to report it balance sheet in US like their stock exchange, they have to consolidate the balance sheets of all the countries
The
in
currency is
SAP.
transferred. Okay.
Yeah, so
Exchange.
yeah. So what happens in SAP? All the companies, whether it is in US, whether it is in India, whether it is China, whether it is Japan or Korea or Pakistan, Sri Lanka, wherever they are, they may be maintaining the local currency as their individual country currency, but their foreign currency can be US dollars. Or parent company US dollars. So what happens is automatically each transaction level itself, they have the trial balance in USD. So they any point of time they can consolidate. Suppose my Indian companies, their books closure is say 31st March, but the company in US close the books on 31st December.
Okay.
So it happens the like a conversion from the INR to USD real time. So they did not wait company in India to close the books until 31st March. Still, they can consolidate the balance sheet on 31st December on real time basis. So
Okay.
they did not wait. So what happens? So as soon as the all entries are posted in India, so on the as on 31st of December, they can automatically consolidate the balance sheet. Automatically consolidate the balance sheet. So MNCs, sure, surely many MNCs are using SAP for better control, easy consolidation, and single system throughout the world. And yeah,
All
this
the
happens.
verticals are like your accounts payable, accounts receivable,
Mm.
all these vertical jobs are available for accountants. Am I
Yes,
correct,
yes,
sir?
yes, yes, yes.
Like your
Yes,
MNC
basically,
companies.
suppose in SAP, what happens is like single accountant may not be doing all
Ah,
sales and purchases. Sales will be done by separate accountant. Purchase will be done by another accountant. So role will be different, role specific only. Suppose even purchases, sometimes what happens in a bigger organization, regular purchases, raw material purchase and regular purchases handled by one person. CapEx may be handled by another person.
okay.
So what happens in CapEx case, different business process is different. Means how you procure fixed asset is different from your raw material purchase. Like whatever the condition, what you call authorization levels, like who can authorize the purchases of fixed assets may be different from raw material. Sometimes even certain levels of procuring the fixed assets, you may be requiring even the managing director approval or board approval or director approval. Now, for the regular purchases, you may be doing at the purchase manager level itself or group head itself. Again, it's in SAP. There are a lot of controls wherein uh, each individual transaction is passing through authorization matrix. Suppose if
Sir,
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. Sir,
each
is it only this similar softwares in like your SAP? What are they, sir? Like your Oracle Financials and
yeah
PeopleSoft or something like? If
yeah
you
yeah
can also, what are that?
yeah.
Because our students,
Yeah.
they should also.
See, what happens is a lot of ERPs are consolidated now in India, like all over the world. Like many softwares, uh, like now we can say major three softwares we can say. One is SAP, another is Oracle, another is Microsoft products.
Microsoft Word. Okay.
Microsoft. what happened is my Oracle has what you call take like like they what we can say consolidated their products. Like Oracle bought the PeopleSoft, some of the
Acha.
product like PeopleSoft is again now with the Oracle, like that. So in Microsoft also, a lot of products which are available in the market, they have they bought and they made it the single product, like JD Edwards, PeopleSoft, all those things. Like different products were there, but nowadays we can say three major products. One is Oracle, another is SAP, and other is Microsoft. Microsoft again, they have different modules. They have Microsoft Acct, Navision, and Great Plains. I remember these three. Mostly in India, many companies are using the Microsoft Acct, AXA, Acct.
Okay. Hello, sir. Maybe this why? Yes.
Navision is the product of the Microsoft. It is a different company product, and now Microsoft is taken over that product, Navision.
Sir,
And,
as an accountant for the BCom persons, BCom or MCom, MBA, after they've been trained practically all these things, and then this Tally ERP software, and after that, so when they go to if there are any jobs in SAP part of it, they can, so the company will train them.
Yeah, mostly
Initially.
SAP. See, what happens is mostly user training it will not take much time. User training will
User
not take
training
much
is
time.
not take much time. Yes.
Not much time because they need not understand the technicalities of the system.
Technological is
So,
not required. Yes,
yeah,
that is a
suppose
point.
if they even become fresher, they can undergo maybe a week's time training, and they can efficiently can perform the SAP accountant role, because that role is very limited in SAP, because each accountant will not have access to all the modules.
All the modules. It's only
Because
particular vertical. Yeah.
vertical, because they don't give access to one single person all the module because of an internal control issue, like sales is handled by one person, purchase is handled by one person. Because this is what SAP recommends.
How much of the salary, sir? Because as an accountant, as in SAP, as per you.
Salaries would be better compared to normal. Means normal. We cannot say normal compared to people who are working on Tally or Focus. Compared to that, because demand supply here, supply is less, so and people are trained in SAP, so little better package will be there. Maybe
How much
somewhere
like approximate package?
starting with 30,000, like that they are getting 25 to 30,000 starting as an accountant role.
As
Even
an accountant role.
accountant, even if they are SAP experience with 1 or 2 years, they may go up to 50,000 also. This is normal, and accountant, basically what happens in most of the cases, like normal BCom guy can be trained in SAP within a week's time. So specifically, they're not recruiting what you call trained people, because they take it as a normal graduate and they train them only specific modules and specific screens, not even modules. So suppose if a person is doing purchase orders, only will be doing only purchase order throughout his job, throughout his role is in particular role. So similarly, suppose if he is doing GRN, only doing GRN, only one screen will be given.
Generally, I mean, it's like a vertical because now in MNC companies also, they take it as. So if the person is so, sir, as per your full, I mean, this is a talk on this. what we observe as an SAP accounting part of it, the person as a BCom person, he should not have to have very high level of knowledge or something, but he should have a thorough understanding of the accounts, how the
Yes,
entries are taken
yes,
place,
yes.
how the sales, so all this practice. But once he knows about from A to Z of accounting up to the balance sheet, it will help him to it will help for the company. Okay,
Yes,
sir, as an accountant, like, and
yes,
once he has got a exposure, so he has more opportunities. Am I
yes.
correct, sir?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's
See, one is if he is thorough with your subject basics, what will happen is he is going to understand the SAP also very quickly.
simple. Yeah, that
Because
is an easy
why
way.
I'm doing this, why I'm doing this. So
Yes,
why, what is the process like approval process, all those things. It happens in SAP, SAP automatically, and you don't have the papers like somebody signing and post again. Then you are posting. What happens? Suppose if you are processing the transaction, it is not directly posted to your general ledger. It is going for approval automatically. Once that a person is approves the document, again it comes back for posting to you.
yeah,
There are
fine.
like basically like again how you design the system is again depends. Sometimes person who is creating the document itself is posting. That's what we also suggest as an auditor. So person who is approving, you should not post. What I suggest is just he has to approve and send it again back to person who is posting the transaction. So
Yeah,
that,
sir, me the voice this mute అయిందండి, sir. Yeah,
any comment is there whether it is
yes.
good or not. All
Sir,
those things.
sir, now I think time is up. If the students, if you have any queries, you can just, have got this 5 minutes time. You can pose any queries fast. Open up the mics and then
Yeah,
you can
somebody was
ask.
asking, I have seen that question.
చెప్పండి.
Somebody was what is the difference between SAP and Oracle?
Both are same, na, sir? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So see, this is product is different, modules names are different, and screens would be different. Technology is different. Other than that, as an accountant, there won't be much difference, and like navigation may be different. Like in SAP, there is a coding, and once you enter the code, you get uh, automatically that transaction is opened up for your entry.
It is a
So
sort of a technical part of it.
technical part of it.
Technical part.
So yeah, in SAP, what happens is each transaction codes are given.
SAP is financial controlling, somebody said. Yes, financial controlling part of it
See,
is there.
it's not SAP. No, no. SAP is the big system. It's not just financial control. It has
Everything,
everything.
everything,
Everything.
everything. It is a
So,
part of
to
that.
run the business, it has every module.
And
Whether
one,
production, manufacturing, HR,
yeah,
sales, service,
everything. There
everything
are
is
some,
there.
and that is the reason. And then whatever, because we are basically for accountants, we are talking
Good.
to, so we don't talk about the HR and other
Yes.
thing. I know that HR production, of course, so many modules are
Yeah.
there.
Because HR maybe we are like, but accountant is touching every
Uh,
module because he
no,
is in.
touching the inventory production part of it, all those things, yeah, of course, is a
Yeah.
touching.
Even
Yes.
HR also he should know what is the salary he's paying.
And
So
whatever, yes, sir, yeah. And sir, and finally, as
mm,
an accountant, mean to
no.
say,
Uh,
double entry system of bookkeeping is still, it is this throughout the world is the same. Am I correct, sir?
yes, yes.
SAP
So
is,
the system is same.
also
So
in
the
the,
system is the
yes,
same.
sir,
Same SAP wherever
is
you
also
go, whether it is SAP or not, double entry system is same.
same.
Yeah, maybe little different in US because like suppose generally when we pay cash, we what we'll do is we'll directly cash is sometimes debited to expense account. Like through the cash book, in your cash book, you can write directly salaries, or you can say
And the
directly
salaries account debit to
print and
cash like a, yeah.
print like that. But generally, what in the US, generally, no no payment is done to any nominal account. Issue to personal account only. Means suppose
Okay.
even if I'm paying rent,
That is the, it is their internal adjust, I mean, like a arrangement like that. Yes or no, sir? Because what you
yes,
are
yes, yes,
talking about,
yes, yes.
instead
See,
of salaries account,
ultimately, final entry is same. Whether
finally, that is
yeah,
what I'm telling.
final entry is same. Expense accounts are debited and the cash is credited.
Yes,
But
sir.
only thing is, in US you post 2 entries. In India, only 1 entry.
Yes. Sir, I think you have taken, at this time, actually, this 4 o'clock is the hard time for you also. I mean, have taken up so interestingly,
No, no.
and
Actually,
you
uh,
attended in the morning some other program. Yes, sir.
yes, yes, just actually, I reached just 5 minutes before your session. That's why I
I'm
want.
very,
Yeah,
and thanks a lot, because you gave as the spared the time, and
yeah.
then just wanted to know these sort of meetings to give it some sort of inputs for our
Mm.
students. It will
Actually,
go
I did
long in
not
a,
have time to prepare a presentation.
yeah,
Actually, I was not like I wanted to prepare something. We'll next session at least we'll see.
yeah,
The
at
SAP
least
side,
some
what
sort.
will happen is a lot of this ocean. What to speak, we will not have a very clear idea. So it's
I
like
will, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before that, we'll make the points accordingly. Of course, you can help us in that way.
or we can question and answers type. We can do it. So
Yes,
if
sir.
they have
Yes.
specific questions, say we can
Yeah, yeah.
have 20, 30 questions. We can discuss around those questions. That would
Yes.
be better. Yeah, yeah.
All the
Somebody was
students,
asking.
di-
Uh, uh,
somebody has said, sir, somebody has said difference between SAP consultant and end user.
yeah.
SAP consultant is a technical man who will make the software for different companies.
No,
Am I correct, sir?
I will put it, sir. I will put it. Like again, like SAP consultant is involved in SAP implementation.
Implementation.
Implementation where the company is newly introducing the SAP and they wanted to have system in SAP in their company. So SAP consultant is involved. At that point of time, there is no until SAP is implemented in SAP. SAP user is not there. Once the
Yes.
implementation is completed, then only SAP user will come into picture, where transaction entry is done. So SAP entity user means he's only posting transactions, taking reports.
Yes. Who will use that software as for accounting part.
And generate the reports and any problem with any problem with his software is not getting the proper result, is not posting into the correct entry, correct platform, or is he wanted to have some changes. What will happen is communicate that to consultant, SAP
Sir,
consultant. SAP
sir,
consultant
yeah.
will solve the problems.
Sir,
Yeah.
and one more this query, somebody said SAP is in only MNC companies or other companies also they can. SAP is there. If they want to use that SAP, they can buy it and then they
No,
can
no, no.
use.
No, answer is even local companies are our Hyderabad based local companies are using SAP now.
So it's not
Family owned
necessary that
businesses
it's
are
only
using.
MNCs.
Yeah, now it is only the attitude. If the management feels SAP is required, anybody can use. Many small companies in Hyderabad with a very good, very what you call futuristic management, they are going for SAP.
Sir, I think that is you have taken a lot of time. Thanks, sir. And one thing, so all the participants actually, so he will be, it is a sort of a interactive, the first session. In the future, we'll get some more in a higher level exposure into SAP part. I request all the students, open up the mics and please give him a big hand. Thank him for sparing the time, and he has enlightened us on SAP software. All of you, open up the mics. All the students,
Thank you, sir.
all of you.
Thank you,
all of
sir.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
Open
you,
up,
sir.
open up.
Thank
Please
you
give
so
him
much,
a,
sir, for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Please,
Thank
clap
you.
him. Hello. Please give him a big hand. All of you, all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please give him a big hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Thanks a lot, Andy. Nice.
Thank
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.